Welcome, dear friends. Today, you are about to embark on a journey that will awaken the deepest power within you, the infinite, creative consciousness of God. Imagine a life where every thought you think, every word you speak, flows effortlessly from divine wisdom and love. A life where limitations fade and your true potential shines brightly. As you walk in the consciousness of God, you are no longer bound by fear, doubt, or scarcity. You are stepping into a new life, a life of abundance, peace, and unshakable joy. The moment you embrace this divine awareness, miracles begin to manifest in ways beyond your imagination. Open your heart, quiet your mind, and let the presence of God guide every step you take. A new life begins not tomorrow, not next week, but here, in this very moment. Let us now journey together into this higher consciousness and discover the boundless possibilities that await you. To align your mind with the consciousness of God is to awaken to the infinite power that already resides within you. Every human being has a divine presence, a silent, omnipotent intelligence that is constantly guiding, creating, and sustaining life. Most people move through their days unaware of this magnificent power, caught in the illusions of limitation, fear, and doubt. But when you consciously align your mind with God's consciousness, you step into a reality where these limitations dissolve, and a vast, creative potential becomes accessible to you. The mind, when rightly directed, becomes a powerful instrument through which divine energy flows. This alignment is not about seeking God outside of yourself, for the consciousness of God is not distant. It is within you, always present, waiting for your awareness to turn inward. It is in the quiet moments of thought, in the feelings that rise in your heart, and in the images you hold in your imagination. Your mind has the unique ability to focus, to concentrate, and to create. When your focus is on fear, lack, or negative circumstances, you unconsciously feed limitations into your life. But when you align with the divine consciousness, your mind begins to operate in harmony with infinite intelligence, drawing from solutions, insights, and opportunities that you may never have imagined. Alignment begins with belief. You must truly understand, deep in your soul, that God's consciousness is omnipresent, benevolent, and infinitely wise. When you accept this as reality, you create an inner environment where divine guidance can work freely. Your thoughts become like seeds planted in fertile soil, each one holding the potential to manifest in your life. By nurturing thoughts of abundance, health, love, and peace, you allow the consciousness of God to express through you. The more you practice this alignment, the more automatic it becomes. It becomes second nature to respond to life from a place of divine wisdom rather than human limitation. Visualization, affirmation, and prayer are powerful tools to help you align your mind. When you visualize yourself living in harmony with God's will, when you affirm the presence of divine intelligence guiding your life, you are training your mind to recognize and accept this reality. Prayer, in the truest sense, is not asking for something outside of you. It is the recognition of the divine presence within, the conscious communion with the power that can transform your life from the inside out. As you cultivate this alignment, you will notice subtle but profound shifts. Decisions become clearer, fears dissolve, and you begin to act with confidence and purpose. It is also important to release resistance. The mind often resists change because it clings to old habits and familiar patterns. But when you consciously surrender to the divine consciousness within, you allow your life to move in ways that are far greater than anything you could orchestrate alone. Life begins to flow effortlessly, and challenges are seen not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and awakening. The mind aligned with God's consciousness does not struggle, it flows. It trusts, it knows, and it acts from a place of infinite wisdom. Ultimately, aligning your mind with the consciousness of God is about awakening to your true nature. You are not merely a body or a collection of thoughts. You are an expression of divine intelligence. When your mind is aligned, every thought, word, and action resonates with the higher power within, creating harmony, abundance, and peace in your life. This alignment is the key to unlocking a life of miracles, for it opens the door to the limitless possibilities that exist when human consciousness merges with divine consciousness. Fear, doubt, and limitations are the invisible chains that hold the human mind back from experiencing its full potential. They are not realities in themselves, but perceptions created by the mind when it fails to recognize the limitless power of God within. Each thought of fear, each whisper of doubt, and every belief in limitation distances you from the abundant life that is your natural inheritance. The first step toward true freedom is to understand that these negative patterns are self-imposed and can be released. They have no power over you except the power you give them. The moment you consciously decide to let go, the mind begins to realign with divine intelligence, and life begins to flow in ways previously unimaginable. Fear is perhaps the most paralyzing of all human emotions. It causes hesitation, uncertainty, and indecision. Yet fear is always a projection of the mind into an imagined future. It is never grounded in the present moment and never has authority over the divine presence within you. When you recognize this, you begin to see fear for what it is, a false assumption that reality is separate from God's protection and guidance. By turning your attention inward to the quiet, unshakable consciousness of God, fear dissolves naturally. It cannot survive in the presence of truth, for the truth is that you are an expression of infinite power, love, and intelligence. Each moment you affirm this truth, fear loses its grip and confidence takes its place. Doubt operates in a similar way. It undermines your belief in yourself, in your abilities, and in the creative power of the divine. Doubt tells you that you are not enough, that circumstances are too great, or that change is impossible. But doubt is merely the voice of the old mind clinging to familiar patterns. It has no reality in the higher consciousness. When you consciously reject doubt, when you replace it with faith in the wisdom and abundance of God, your mind begins to work in harmony with the infinite. Doubt vanishes like a shadow in the sunlight, and clarity, certainty, and confidence emerge. Your decisions become easier, your actions more purposeful, and your life aligns with the natural flow of divine energy. Limitations are perhaps the most subtle and persistent of all. They are learned behaviors, deeply ingrained beliefs, and assumptions about what is possible for you. From childhood, society, and personal experiences, the mind is conditioned to accept boundaries, to believe in scarcity, and to measure success by external standards. But the truth is that there are no real limits to the mind aligned with God. The divine consciousness within you is infinite, and when you release the mental constructs that impose limitations, you open the door to endless possibilities. You begin to think creatively, act boldly, and embrace opportunities that you once believed were beyond your reach. Releasing fear, doubt, and limitations requires consistent practice, Affirmations, meditation, and visualization are powerful tools to reprogram the mind. By consciously repeating positive statements of faith, imagining yourself free from constraints, and entering a meditative state where divine guidance is experienced directly, you train your mind to reject negativity and embrace the truth of its divine nature. Each time you do this, the old patterns weaken and your connection to God's infinite power strengthens. The release of these limiting forces is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process of awakening. Each day presents opportunities to observe fear, doubt, or limitation and consciously choose a higher thought, a divine thought. As this becomes habitual, your inner world transforms and your outer circumstances reflect the new reality. Life becomes lighter, freer, and filled with possibilities that once seemed impossible. You will notice doors opening, solutions appearing effortlessly, and a sense of peace and confidence settling within. Ultimately, when fear, doubt, and limitations are released, you step into a life of divine alignment. You move forward with certainty, trust, and courage. You realize that the only true power is the consciousness of God within you, and that nothing outside can harm or restrict you. Your mind becomes a beacon of infinite potential, and your life becomes a living testimony to the miracles that occur when you release what does not serve you and embrace the truth of your divine inheritance. To tap into divine abundance and creativity is to recognize that the universe is infinitely generous and that the consciousness of God within you is a limitless source of wealth, wisdom, and inspiration. Most people live their lives in a state of lack, believing that resources, opportunities, and solutions are scarce. Yet this scarcity exists only in the mind. The reality is that God's abundance is limitless, and it flows to every person who aligns their thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the divine presence. When you awaken to this truth, you realize that every problem carries the seed of its own solution. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and every desire can be fulfilled when you harmonize your mind with God's creative power. Divine abundance is not merely financial or material. It is the richness of life itself. It is the health that sustains your body, the clarity that guides your mind, the love that nourishes your relationships, and the joy that illuminates your heart. When you recognize that all of these blessings are expressions of God's abundance, you begin to see life from a higher perspective. You understand that lack and limitation are illusions created by fear and doubt, and you choose instead to dwell in the awareness of infinite possibilities. This choice transforms your entire experience, for the mind aligned with divine abundance naturally attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities that reflect this higher reality. Creativity is the companion of abundance. Just as God is the infinite creator, so too is your mind when it is attuned to divine consciousness. Every idea, every insight, and every solution emerges from this wellspring of intelligence. When you tap into this creative power, you discover innovative ways to overcome challenges, generate wealth, and enrich your life and the lives of others. Creativity flows effortlessly when fear, doubt, and limitation are released, because the mind no longer obstructs the natural expression of divine intelligence. You begin to see possibilities where others see problems, to imagine solutions where others see obstacles, and to create outcomes that once seemed impossible. The process of tapping into divine abundance and creativity begins with belief. You must truly accept that God's presence within you is infinite, generous, and always available. Affirmations, visualization, and meditative practices are powerful tools to strengthen this belief. By affirming statements such as "I am an expression of divine abundance," or "creative ideas flow effortlessly through me," you reprogram your subconscious mind to recognize the limitless potential already within you. Visualization allows you to experience this abundance in your imagination, training your mind to recognize it as real. Meditation quiets the mental chatter, creating space for divine inspiration to enter, and for your inner wisdom to guide you toward fruitful action. Gratitude is another essential key. By appreciating the blessings already present in your life, you open the channels for even greater abundance. The mind focused on scarcity closes doors, but the mind filled with gratitude attracts opportunities and wealth. Every expression of thanks strengthens your alignment with God's generosity, and the universe responds with more of what you affirm. When you consistently tap into divine abundance and creativity, life transforms in profound ways. Opportunities appear seemingly out of nowhere, solutions emerge naturally, and a sense of freedom and joy permeates your being. You begin to understand that there are no limits to what can be achieved when your mind is aligned with the infinite intelligence and generosity of God. You realize that creativity is not just an occasional inspiration, but a constant companion, guiding your thoughts, actions, and life toward fulfillment. Ultimately, to tap into divine abundance and creativity is to awaken to your true nature as a co-creator with God. Every thought, every idea, and every action becomes infused with the limitless energy of the universe. Life becomes a joyful exploration of possibilities, and miracles manifest naturally. You move forward with confidence, knowing that the source of all abundance and creativity is already within you, and that by aligning your mind with this divine consciousness, you step into a life of unlimited potential and extraordinary fulfillment. To transform your thoughts to manifest miracles is to understand that your mind is the creative instrument through which the universe expresses itself. Every circumstance, event, and experience in your life originates from the patterns of thought that dominate your consciousness. Yet most people live unconsciously, allowing negative thoughts, fears, and limiting beliefs to shape their reality. The truth is that when your thoughts are aligned with the infinite intelligence of God, miracles are not only possible, they become a natural, inevitable part of your life. The transformation begins the moment you recognize that your mind is not separate from God, but is a direct channel for divine energy, capable of creating outcomes that surpass imagination. Every thought carries power. Thoughts of fear, doubt, and scarcity attract limitations and difficulties, while thoughts of faith, abundance, and divine guidance attract blessings, solutions, and opportunities. To manifest miracles, you must first become aware of the quality and direction of your thinking. It is not enough to wish for change or hope for a miracle. The mind must be deliberately focused, disciplined, and consciously directed toward the desired outcome. This is the art of transforming thought, the practice of choosing, nurturing, and sustaining thoughts that reflect the higher consciousness of God within you. Visualization is one of the most effective tools for transforming your thoughts. When you vividly imagine the life you desire, experiencing it with all the emotions of having already achieved it, you impress your subconscious mind with this image of reality. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It accepts what is repeatedly visualized as true. By consistently seeing yourself healthy, successful, joyful, and abundant, you plant the seeds for these conditions to manifest in your life. Each visualization, each mental rehearsal, is a step toward bringing the miraculous into tangible reality. Affirmations are another vital tool in this transformation. Repeatedly declaring positive statements that reflect the truth of God's power within you helps reprogram the subconscious mind. Statements such as "I am guided by divine wisdom," "all abundance flows to me effortlessly," or "I am a living expression of God's love and power," gradually replace old negative thought patterns with empowering beliefs. As these affirmations are absorbed, the mind begins to attract experiences that correspond to them. The miraculous becomes natural because the consciousness that attracts it has been prepared through consistent, focused thought. Faith and belief are the underlying forces that activate this process. Miracles do not occur through force, struggle, or human effort alone. They occur when the mind surrenders to divine intelligence and trusts in its guidance. Doubt weakens the power of thought, but unwavering faith strengthens it. Faith is the bridge between thought and manifestation, and when combined with clear visualization and positive affirmations, it transforms ordinary circumstances into extraordinary outcomes. It is also essential to release attachment to the how and when of miracles. The human mind often seeks to control the process, but divine intelligence works in ways beyond our understanding. By focusing on the desired result and maintaining faith, while leaving the method to the infinite wisdom of God, you allow miracles to flow unhindered. Resistance, worry, and impatience disrupt the flow, but trust and surrender align you with the miraculous. Ultimately, transforming your thoughts to manifest miracles is about recognizing the divine presence within and consciously allowing it to guide every mental and emotional process. When your thoughts are aligned with God's consciousness, you become a magnet for blessings, solutions, and extraordinary experiences. Life shifts from struggle to ease, from limitation to abundance, from ordinary to miraculous. By mastering your mind, by choosing and nurturing thoughts that reflect divine intelligence, you open the door to a life where miracles are not exceptions, but the natural expression of a mind attuned to God. To live in peace, joy, and unshakable faith is to discover the true nature of your mind and its intimate connection with the infinite consciousness of God. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict or stress. It is a deep, abiding sense of harmony that arises when the mind is aligned with the divine presence within. When you understand that God is the source of all life, intelligence, and abundance, you realize that nothing outside of you can disturb this inner calm. Life may present challenges, difficulties, and unexpected events, but the mind rooted in divine consciousness remains steady, undisturbed, and fully aware of its own infinite power. This inner peace is the foundation upon which joy and faith naturally grow. Joy is the natural expression of a mind attuned to God. It is not dependent upon circumstances, possessions, or achievements. It flows from the recognition that life itself is a gift and that the divine intelligence within you is always working for your highest good. By focusing on the blessings present in each moment, by cultivating gratitude for the unseen forces guiding your life, joy becomes a constant companion. When you live in joy, your thoughts, words, and actions resonate with positive energy, attracting experiences and people that reflect this higher vibration. The mind that is joyful is creative, open, and magnetic. capable of drawing opportunities that others may overlook. Unshakable faith is the third pillar of this triad. Faith is the unwavering belief that God's presence within you is always active, always guiding, and always providing. It is not a passive hope, but a living certainty that aligns your mind with infinite intelligence. Faith allows you to face challenges with courage, knowing that every obstacle contains the seed of its solution, and that every difficulty is temporary in the greater plan of life. When faith is unshakable, fear, doubt, and anxiety cannot take hold. The mind becomes a calm, focused instrument through which divine power operates effortlessly. Living in peace, joy, and faith requires consistent practice. Meditation, prayer, affirmations, and conscious attention to your thoughts are essential tools in this process. By regularly quieting the mind and focusing on the presence of God, you create a reservoir of inner strength and calm that supports you in every situation. Affirmations such as "I am at peace with all that is," "Joy flows through me effortlessly," and "My faith in God is unshakable" reinforce these qualities in the subconscious mind, gradually transforming your habitual responses to life's challenges. When these qualities are cultivated, life begins to flow in harmony with the divine. You encounter fewer conflicts, experience deeper satisfaction, and radiate a sense of calm and confidence that influences everyone around you. Challenges no longer intimidate you, and opportunities appear naturally as you move forward with courage and clarity. The mind rooted in peace, joy, and faith becomes a powerful magnet for divine guidance, abundance, and miraculous outcomes. Ultimately, to live in peace, joy, and unshakable faith is to live in alignment with your true nature as a spiritual being. You awaken to the reality that God's consciousness within you is limitless, benevolent, and always present. And from this awareness, life transforms into a continuous experience of harmony, fulfillment, and bliss. To step boldly into your new life is to fully embrace the infinite power and divine guidance that already reside within you. Most people move cautiously through life, hesitant, uncertain, and constrained by fear, doubt, and old habits. Yet, the new life that awaits you is not a distant dream. It is a reality available the moment you decide to claim it. Boldness does not mean recklessness. It means moving forward with confidence, clarity, and faith, trusting in the omnipotent intelligence of God to guide your every step. Each decision you make, when rooted in divine consciousness, becomes an opportunity to express your highest potential and manifest the life you have always imagined. The first step to bold living is awareness. You must recognize that you are a co-creator with God and that your thoughts, words, and actions have creative power. Life is not something that happens to you. It is something you participate in, shaping it through your alignment with divine intelligence. When you fully grasp this truth, hesitation fades and a sense of empowerment replaces fear. You begin to understand that the universe responds to the clarity and focus of your mind, and that by thinking, feeling, and acting in harmony with God, you open the door to limitless possibilities. Courage is the companion of boldness. Stepping into a new life often requires leaving behind familiar patterns, old beliefs, and comfort zones that no longer serve you. This can feel intimidating, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to move forward despite it. When your faith is anchored in God, courage flows naturally, allowing you to take decisive action without being paralyzed by doubt. You trust that each step, even when uncertain, is supported by the divine intelligence that permeates every aspect of your being. Vision is also essential. Bold steps are guided by a clear image of the life you desire. When you see your new life vividly in your mind, feel it with your heart, and affirm it with your words, you create a magnetic field that attracts the circumstances and people necessary to bring that vision into reality. Visualization, affirmations, and conscious intention are powerful tools that prepare your mind to recognize and receive the opportunities aligned with your highest good. The more precise and positive your vision, the stronger the momentum becomes toward manifesting it. Action is the final ingredient. Stepping boldly requires not only inner alignment, but also outward movement. Every thought and intention must be supported by purposeful action. Divine guidance often presents itself as inspiration, insight, or opportunity. It is up to you to act decisively. Bold action is not forced or frantic. It is deliberate, confident, and in harmony with your inner knowing. The universe responds to the clarity of your purpose, and doors open where before there seemed to be walls. Ultimately, to step boldly into your new life is to live as the powerful, creative, and divine being that you truly are. You move forward with faith, courage, and clarity, leaving behind fear, limitation, and hesitation. Each day becomes an opportunity to manifest abundance, joy, and fulfillment. The new life is not a future possibility. It is a present reality waiting for you to claim it. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with God, miracles unfold naturally, and your life becomes a living testimony to the power of divine consciousness. As we draw this journey to a close, remember that the life you desire, the peace you seek, and the miracles you long for already exist within you. The consciousness of God is not distant. It is your very essence, waiting to guide every thought, word, and action. By aligning your mind with this infinite intelligence, releasing fear, doubt, and limitations, tapping into divine abundance and creativity, transforming your thoughts, living in peace and joy, and stepping boldly into your new life, you awaken the boundless power that is your birthright. Life is no longer a series of random events. It becomes a harmonious unfolding of divine will through you. Miracles manifest effortlessly, opportunities appear in abundance, and your mind, body, and spirit operate in complete alignment with the infinite. You are no longer a passive observer of your circumstances. You are a conscious co-creator, shaping reality through the power of God within. Embrace this truth with unwavering faith. Walk each day with confidence, knowing that the new life begins not in some distant future, but this very moment. Let your thoughts be positive, your heart open, and your actions inspired. Trust in the divine intelligence that guides you, for when you do, fear dissolves, joy expands, and miracles flow naturally. The universe responds to the mind that is aligned with God, and as you continue on this path, every step will bring you closer to the life you were always meant to live. Know that abundance, peace, health, love, and joy are not dreams. They are realities waiting for your conscious acceptance. Step forward boldly, live fully, and let the consciousness of God illuminate your every moment.